It's time now for County-Wide, a presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. You'll hear about the interesting issues and happenings that affect all our lives. Here's today's County-Wide.
Welcome to the program. It is County-Wide. I'm Brad Miller, and welcoming into studio once again, part two of a two-part segment that we're doing with Susan Turner and Diedra Kearney, and they are with Accord Hospice and Palliative Care, working in the Sedona area and other kind of locations. Ladies, again, thank you so much.
Good to be here.
We're recording today on the heels of the first program that we did, and it's a show that I've wanted to talk about for an awfully long time, and that I've found out from the two of you being guests, being guests here today, that it's something a lot of people have wanted to talk about and don't know how to do it. Hospice care, end-of-life care. Mm-hmm. It's maybe the trickiest conversation we might have as families and gathered together as loved ones. And we're jumping kind of right into it. I strongly encourage our listeners to catch that first segment if they can. But today I want to kind of move along. I've made that phone call. I've called Accord. I have my elderly mother. It's time to investigate your services. Walk me through it. What happens once that call is made and we need to meet?
What an excellent question, Brad. I appreciate that. So often people don't make the call because they're not sure. What does it mean?
Right.
And we really begin with wherever the caller is, whether that be the patient, whether it be an adult family member, a spouse. And initially, we want to understand what is the situation that their loved one is in. We schedule a meeting, and we are out there to walk through their journey wherever they are. The beauty of hospice is that it can take place wherever that patient is. So if a patient happens to still be, in a retirement home, in an assisted living home, in a skilled nursing home, or if they are at home, oftentimes we encounter folks as they are getting ready to discharge from the hospital after some kind of adverse event, and we'll meet them at the hospital.
I think we kind of skipped over in our first piece about that a lot of people think that hospice is a place, bricks and mortar, like a hospital,
right?
Which
and
in some places it can be,
sure,
but
really it's more of a philosophy of care.
Yeah,
and it's wherever they call home.
Correct.
Yeah.
Several decades ago, born out of a desire of patients not to pass away alone in the hospital.
Right.
So the hospice movement really began as an alternative to more institutionalized care. The idea that when I go, I want to be surrounded by my loved ones in a place that I'm comfortable and that is familiar to me. And so, yes, we can provide that care wherever the patient calls home. We begin really by asking the important questions. What's important to you on this end-of-life journey? Is it important that you are nearby friends and loved ones? Is it important that there are bucket list items that you still want to check off?
Right.
And we work hand-in-hand with a person's primary caregiver or a specialist in the case of a terminal disease diagnosis, to identify what are the clinical components of someone's care, i.e., what are symptoms that need to be managed? What are
wheelchair?
Correct. What are the elements of supplies and or equipment that is going to make a person more comfortable?
Okay.
And as a hospice, we provide all of that. It's as if we assume the responsibility and the care of that individual going forward. So they don't have to go to the ER. They don't have to go to the primary care. We have all of that in-house. We employ physicians. We have nurses. We have CNAs. We have chaplains. We have social workers. We have volunteers. We have therapists. Anything that would be part of a person's health care plan is now provided by the hospice agency.
Extraordinary. Now, this is going to cost me an arm and a leg.
No.
I love that you've mentioned that because it's
such a good question.
Such a
Please
good question.
do.
There is no out-of-pocket cost for hospice care.
Say that again.
There is no out-of-pocket cost for hospice care. It is 100% covered by Medicare and most private insurances.
I endorse that, and I ask about that, and we kind of chuckle a little bit, but a lot of people are going to have just had an enormous hospital stay.
Correct.
They are going to look at post-death costs and expenses, which can also be extraordinary.
Correct.
And in the middle can come hospice care, which is almost, that element of it is almost as alleviating
Right.
as the rest of the
that
service.
fear-
Relief. What a relief.
Yeah, that fear that it's going to take everything that I have left.
Bingo. Yeah.
It's so scary, and it's called the hospice benefit. We all deserve that through Medicare, Medicaid, and most private insurances cover that, and it is something that we need to talk about and help people to understand. It's one of those myths of hospice.
Let's move along on our kind of scenario that I'm trying to kind of paint. The two of you are so much better at kind of doing this than I am. But I've brought Mom. She needs a wheelchair, and she can still is somewhat mobile, still likes to go out and perhaps do things. We'll take her into the community. But her situation is deteriorating.
Sure.
You track, and then you help me decide, well, no more visiting out.
Really, yes. I appreciate that question. You, when you have enrolled in hospice, you now have a team of professionals, a care partnership, if you will, a circle of care partners who will help you to navigate difficult decisions. We like to say we are the experts in the delivery of care and comfort, and we allow the caregiver or the relative, the loved one, to be the loved one. And the point of that really is that sometimes we don't know what we don't know. The most unsettling thing are the questions that we don't have answers to. And really, I think that's the strength of hospice care, that we do have experts who have the answer and can provide all of the information so you can make the best decision or the patient can make the best decision. But from the onset, it's as if all the things I don't even know that I didn't know are being answered for me because somebody knows. So our social workers are going to work with you on advanced care, as we talked about in our last segment, about decisions around end of life, about arrangements. Have you selected a funeral home or a mortuary that you'd like to work with? Is there, a plot that is already right next to dad or grandpa or whomever, and help kind of put those things in place. We have our nurses who will come and do a comprehensive assessment, exactly where we are in the disease process, what medications are going to work best. Do you want medications? Do you have another plan for end of life? And our caregivers, our CNAs, will come and help with the activities of daily living. So is it more difficult to get in and out of the shower? Is it more difficult, to make meals? And really, they're there to help some of those light housekeeping and the things that just keep us going daily.
And those are almost certain to change over sometimes a long stretch of time. Sometimes it can be very compact.
Well, I appreciate you mentioning that. The format that we use is really a 2-week rotation of providing the care, and then we come together as a team. Family members are invited to attend if they'd like to, and we assess where are we now? What has changed? Do we need another visit from the physician?
Gotcha.
Do we need to look at managing symptoms more aggressively? Are things going well? And that is an ongoing process because, as we know, this is a process that is going to evolve.
Pain management.
Absolutely.
I think you mentioned that, but
yes,
that's going to be. It seems to me that's going to be a big one for a lot of people.
Absolutely, one of our primary concerns is comfort and making sure that our patients are comfortable and without pain. And for some patients, that is less of a concern than others, and that, of course, depends upon the disease progression.
And sometimes when they come in to us with so much pain, and that our nurses get that under control, they're feeling better, and it's a little different situation.
Well, I think the point is that there's not one recipe or one scenario that fits all.
Every human being is, you bet.
And every
so
family
true.
also.
You
and,
bet.
Yeah.
And the important thing is to include that family. And our team, the team that Deidre spoke about, they're experts in teaching also and helping them to understand when they're not in the room what to do. We're here 24/7 to answer those calls, and if it can be handled, meaning if there's a question that can be addressed and they can help them to understand and help with whatever that is, they're going to teach them that, which is empowering and helpful because caregiving is so exhausting, and when you have that support all the time and you know that, what a difference it makes.
It seems to me that there's really two things here, and that over the course of treatment for whomever the patient may be, that can almost kind of change and even flip-flop to some extent. And what I'm getting at is we think about mom is very, very sick, terminally ill. Mm-hmm. Mom is under hospice care now. It's all about mom. But is it true that mom's care needs are going to shrink a tiny bit, where the caregivers may grow? Here again, I'm not saying it the right way.
It absolutely does,
Yeah.
but
You're caring for the caregiver every bit as much as you're caring for the patient.
Absolutely. And that's something that people don't understand about hospice care.
We like to say that the patient or the person on hospice experiences the disease, but the family experiences the death.
There you go.
So You're absolutely right that we are not only supporting the patient through their end of life progression. So whatever that looks like, of course it's symptom management. Of course it is, emotional and spiritual support. But those things also need to be directed at family members who will be left behind. One of the beautiful things about our hospice service is that we provide spiritual support and counseling for the families of loved ones who've passed for a year after their loved one has passed.
Really?
And yes, and I can tell you that we have seen so many stoic, strong, brave caregivers who walk their loved one right up to that moment. And it is not until weeks or months later that they finally get to they get to experience this loss. And they can be so strong. We all will be so strong for our loved ones. At some point, we're going to need the support of somebody.
Yeah.
And so we love that service is available for a year beyond the passing of someone, because it may not be in that moment that we really recognize that we need the support.
But
it comes.
It will come. Ladies, we need to take a break. So much fascinating material. I don't feel as weird and awkward as talking about this as I did before we started the show. And that was the whole kind of point. Again, we'll take a short break. With Accord Hospice and Palliative Care, Diedra Kearney, Susan Turner, our guests. It's countywide. And we'll be back right after this.
Life changes, then it changes again. Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called unexpected. So when it comes to financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. Hi, I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Matthias Sandoval. A job loss, change in health, or a loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Call our office to schedule a face-to-face appointment.
Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
Verde Solaire, your hometown heating, air conditioning, and plumbing company in the Verde Valley, and your trusted North Central Arizona Goodman dealer. Goodman is a name you can trust with the revolutionary Comfort Bridge technology, factory installed into select Goodman gas furnaces and air handlers to ensure the entire system operates at peak energy efficient performance. Verde Solaire offers free in-home estimates, locally owned and operated since 1983. Visit them at verdesolaire.com. Better, cleaner, faster.
Hi, this is Louis Rice with Rice Accounting, Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, with a very sincere thank you for your continued business over the last 20 years. All of us at Jackson Hewitt Tax Service are very honored for the many community awards we've been given over the years. As always, we are open year-round, providing services for taxes, payroll, and bookkeeping. Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, located throughout northern Arizona, can help you with all your tax and accounting needs. For our nearest location, call 800-234-1040.
Let's talk. That's the message from Jonna Randall Murdoch, your local Farm Bureau agent, providing a personal touch when making insurance and financial decisions. Jonna will simplify your insurance needs while offering competitive pricing. Let's talk auto, home, life, and farm. Call Jonna at Farm Bureau today at 928-649-8686. Your Cottonwood Farm Bureau property and casualty insurance company. At Farm Bureau, they insure more than just farms.
We welcome you back to the program. Again, it is countywide, and again, our second of two parts with Susan Turner, Diedra Kearney, Accord Hospice and Palliative Care, generally serving the Sedona area. I said that correctly, and
the Verde Valley.
Okay, and White Mountains region?
We do have a location in
Okay.
the White Mountains that services, all of the White Mountain locations and all the way to Winslow.
Okay, we'll do it at the end, but just for the moment, give me the phone number again.
928-278-4134.
One of the things that I wanted to talk about, I'm not sure I understand it very well, as we've chatted in our two programs about the importance that hospice care pays for the survivors or family, or I'm not sure how you exactly say it. The idea of as mom or dad fails, say it's a month, a 30-day kind of period, and clearly they are deteriorating over time, which I think is probably common. Different family members are going to be impacted differently at different times. There's going to be triggers. Mom could do this yesterday. Today she doesn't know me. That's got to be devastating for the families.
Absolutely.
How does hospice?
I think that what you're talking about is they're already grieving. They're seeing the loss right before their eyes, and like you said, everyone sees that differently. It might strike them in a different moment, but yes, we have those people on our team that work to support them through that. And the grief process for everyone is different, right? We know that if we've ever lost someone, whether it's in hospice care or sudden loss, we all grieve differently. And I think the important thing to note about us staying with them for 13 months following the death of a loved one is we know that they're going to have a hard time getting through those firsts. The first birthday,
Right.
The first anniversary.
Well,
the first
another
Christmas.
thing, and even before that, and Deidre, I think this is what you mentioned between shows that we were trying to touch on during our break, that the family is going to be, Mom, you should eat. Mom, you need to
Yes.
eat. You need to, on these, because that's where we're at. Rah, rah, rah. We're doing what we think is the appropriate thing. At this time, it may no longer be the appropriate tack.
Brad, what a great question. And I think the beauty of having hospice, which is a team of professionals who've experienced the dying process time and time again, multiple disease progressions, it's our profession. It truly is what we strive to be experts at. And so often when the doctor or the specialist gives the news to the family that, perhaps it's time to call hospice in, many times we have patients who have experienced months or years of treatment, aggressive treatment, and they may be ready for a more palliative approach. So, I've fought a good fight. I've extended through various treatments the quality of my life and my life to a point where I am ready now to be comfortable and spend the remaining days, weeks, months, years with the people I love, focusing on quality of life as opposed to more curative treatments.
They may resign themselves to what's happening before the family does.
You've touched on exactly what we experience frequently. Right. And it is our job. We really take seriously the responsibility of education for family. We meet them where they are. We assess kind of what the situation is, what are the dynamics, and through members of our team help loved ones kind of get to a place where they are ready to help mom or dad or loved one pass peacefully.
That's got to be hard.
It's
and
incredibly
different
hard.
for every family.
Everybody's going to come on board at your own pace. Some are not. It's not going to happen even while mom is still in hospice. She'll pass.
Which is the beauty of being able to follow that family, for the following year.
Absolutely.
And
now, what did you bereavement?
Yep, our
grief and
bereavement
loss
support.
services. Yes,
correct.
Okay,
Yes.
And
continues.
We maintain contact with family members who want to. We aren't mandating that, but certainly for anyone who feels that they need additional support beyond their loved one passing, we have a variety of programs and services that meet those needs.
Right.
I think what you said, about having family members understand how to help their loved one is so critical. And we all want that. When we have a loved one who's, my biggest fear is that I won't know what to do. What if mom experiences this? What do I do?
Yeah.
Is it okay to give this medication? Do I need to, to provide some kind of intervention? And that really is the beauty of hospice. We are available 24/7 to answer those calls and help people understand what they don't understand. We want family members to be family members and let us help with the logistics characteristics of the care and the symptom management.
One of the things that I've really learned, I think more than anything, in our conversations today and in the previous program, is that you are. I used to have this idea that hospice care, first of all, the loved one went somewhere, was the first one.
Sure.
So we knocked that down right away, that it can be that, but more typically it's not.
Sure.
It's where the loved one is most comfortable. So there's that, but also that you don't come in and take over the way a doctor might.
No, we don't move in with you.
You come in and it's like, okay, we're holding you up, folks, family. You are still doing this.
Right.
And that seems to me to be, at first you can think of that as emasculating in a way. Someone's taking but no, it's just the opposite. Once you understand it and get on board with it.
That's right.
That no, they're here to prop you up.
That's right.
You folks are there to prop our
Patients
families.
and families direct their own care with our expertise.
Right.
So what it looks like is whatever they want it to look like. Some people, they don't want the constant kind of memory or reminder rather that, I'm on hospice care. So they might ask our caregivers, hey, you know what? Don't come in your scrubs. Just come in your regular clothes and come visit me.
Oh, what a great example.
We might provide expertise in the way of medication education, and then just be available by phone as a patient's condition declines, and kind of save that more aggressive and present care for the last days of someone's life. And conversely, we have people who are, I don't know what to do. I need as much help as I can.
Right.
Can you come every day? And we say yes.
I think it's important to remember that every family dynamic is different.
It's different.
And we adjust to that and we work with that. And when we say experts in their field, that's what they are. Hospice team members are experts in their fields. And that is so important to creating that plan, around what that patient and family need.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful thing to witness and to have in your home or wherever, to be a part of. I guess that's the right way to say it.
Let's conclude this way. We've really kind of just scratched the surface, but that's what we always try to do on Countywide, is to get people to listen, pay attention, hopefully answer some questions, but also bring up some questions that they may have and direct them to our guests. And today we'd like to do that. So as we wrap up with Susan Turner, Diedra Kearney, Accord Hospice and Palliative Care. Again, if you would repeat for me, phone numbers, websites, whatever is the best way.
Absolutely. You can call us, and we're happy to answer questions and set up a meeting at 928-278-4134. You can find us at our website, which is accordhealthgroup.com, and even on Facebook, Accord Hospice of Sedona.
Terrific. Ladies, I so appreciate it. You made this easy. I was nervous. I'm not very often nervous about a program. And
calmed your nerves.
These I worry, absolutely.
But such an important conversation. Thank you for having us.
Well, think how you'll calm the nerves of folks who take advantage of what hospice can provide for them and their loved ones. All right, I'm Brad Miller. It's Countywide, and we'll see you next time.
This has been Countywide. Listen in each Tuesday and Thursday at this time. If you have a topic or guest idea that you'd like to suggest, email us, news@myradioplace.com.